Thank you.
We're alive.
We're live. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm 2 minutes
Barely,
late.
barely, barely alive, but we're alive.
Yeah, we are. Carol and I were chatting and lost track of the time, and I hope that people will know to find us. Let's see, live,
Yeah, I
live.
don't have YouTube open. I just have the chat. So
Yes, and I saw how to do that, but I then I didn't know how to do it, so it's okay. Live chat. Okay, so we can wait. And
so what have you been up to today other than listening to thunderstorms?
yeah, let's see, what did I do today? I worked on my leather. I did some leather embossing.
Hey, Susan.
Hey,
Hi,
Susan
Janice.
and Janice, thank you for being here. And I've got a thunderstorm going on in the background, so we haven't had one in a long, 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 long time. So maybe 'tis the season. I don't know, but the temperature's dropped, so I'm assuming I will keep power because our utilities are underground. So, hi Pam. Good afternoon to you too.
Yeah, I can hear it rolling too. Hi, Pam.
Okay, because sometimes you can't hear it, but it's loud. It has to be pretty loud to hear it.
Oh, it's very loud.
Yeah, rolling thunder. There you go. Absolutely, but it's much needed. Lily's hiding in the garage, so
I don't blame her. I'd be hiding too.
yes. I hope I don't forget her. But what else is new? Oh, this is funny. I was outside yesterday. Not that I was outside. That's not funny. But I was sweeping my porch, and a neighbor, a woman came by, um, and she said that she was trying to contact my roommate. That's what we refer to one another when we're in a duplex. My roommate, she couldn't get Jeannie to come to the door, and she said, "I just got done talking to her. I was talking to her like 5 minutes ago, and I got in the car to come over here. I've got some stuff that I was going to exchange with her." And I said, "Well, you want me to call her?" "Hi, Barbara." So I called her, and there was no answer. It was really weird. No answer. Her name is Janet, had just talked to her. No answer. We pounded on the front door, pounded on the side windows. We called the other neighbor to see if she had a key. She didn't have a key, but she had Jeannie's mobile phone number, so we called the mobile phone number. The other neighbor came over. She didn't have a key, and we couldn't find out anything about where poor Jeannie was. And we were thinking, obviously, the worst, given we are folks of that certain age. And then all of a sudden, Jeannie pulls up in her car.
Oh no.
Jeannie had gone to Janet's house, and had went through the same thing, trying to get Janet to come to the
Oh
door
gee.
and talk to Janet's neighbor. So she was doing the same thing at Janet's house as we were doing at her house. So she's fine, but we kind of laughed about that. But it was a little scary because you really don't want to find your neighbor, falling down, or I'm falling, I can't get up type of thing, or worse.
Mm.
So everything's fine. So I'm gonna, since we have some folks here,
And
I'm
if
gonna,
you all could share it out because
yeah,
we
I
didn't get a
did.
chance to. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't. I was running around like I always. Yeah, I apologize. And if you could do that, that would be awesome. But I understand if you don't. So I'm gonna read my everything you need to know I learned in kindergarten, and I've chosen pickup truck as our reading for today. And I'm gonna write red.
You know, when you say pickup truck, you know what that reminds me of, don't you?
What?
Lego,
I
glue
know, me too.
gun.
My red Lego pickup truck. Oh, that's yes. Reminds me of that, and it reminds me of everybody and the red pickup truck that everyone likes so much. Uh, all right, transportation is much the topic of the day. You've noticed our devotion to the car is worshipful, guys, especially, will talk cars for hours. Eric Byrne called it the cocktail party pastime game, General Motors. Despite what you hear, it's not really a matter of economics. It's an image issue. In America, you are what you drive. Go out in the garage and look. There you are. Maybe some of you don't want to look in the garage. I don't know. Well, my old hoopy has joined the cripples on the edge of the herd, and a new vehicle image is in order. The silver gray Mercedes convertible with glove leather, everything really felt like me. The bank did not really think it felt like me to them. The shiny black BMW motorcycle with sidecar kind of felt like me. My wife did not think it felt like her, especially the sidecar part. The Land Rover with gun rack and shooting top felt like me, but there are so few game covered velts around town now. The new VW Bug is Consumers Reports choice, but a bug I am just not. If you had named it the VW Walrus or the VW Water Buffalo, I might go for it. Here we come. Here's a good one. One of my former students suggested I pull all my money pull all my money into drugs, stay home, and take all the trips I want. But that's not me. You don't bring back groceries from those trips, and nobody really envies you. And we must be envied. It's clear that what would be fashionably hip is a fine piece of engineering, something that's as luxurious yet practical, useful and economical, like a Porsche pickup truck that runs on Kleenex. Silver gray, of course. What I really want from transportation is not an image, but a feeling. I remember riding home on a summer's eve in the back of an ancient Ford pickup truck with two 8-year-old cousins for company and my Uncle Roscoe at the wheel. We'd been swimming and were sitting on inner tubes for comfort and had a couple of old quilts and an elderly dog wrapped close for warmth. We were eating chocolate cookies and drinking sweet milk out of mason jar and singing our lungs out with unending verses of 99 bottles of beer on the wall, with stars and moon and God above and sweet, whoa, and I hope you heard that one, and sweet dreams. And that as soon as I said God, that's when wow, and God above and sweet dreams at the end of the journey home and not a care in the world. Now that's transportation, the way I like to travel. And that's me. And if you hear of a dealer, let me know. Yeah, boom, wow. That one was right overhead. I was talking to Carol before the stream. I have a very short attention span when it comes to vehicles. I get bored and then I go out and get another vehicle. And I do that quite frequently. And so I've had many vehicles. I've gone through my pickup truck phase, my Jeep phase, my sports car phase, my Volkswagen Bug phase. That's about it. Pretty much, those are the biggies. And my convertible phase. Oh, thank you, Janet. And hello to everybody that's come in. Hi, Janet Nash. I hope everyone's enjoying my thunderstorm. It's really, yeah, it's coming down. And there's also a chance of hail. Little hail, not golf ball size hail.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah. My car's in the garage. Yeah, I've had a few. Yeah. My favorite cars was my Mazda Miatas. I had two Mazda Miata convertibles. They were just fun to drive. They're not practical. You can barely put a suitcase in the trunk. You'd be hard pressed to put a set of golf clubs. They'd have to go in diagonally. There's no back seat. But it is just fun to drive. Just a fun thing to drive. So today, I'm going to turn to Carol. Carol's been on the road
A lot.
a lot. Talk about traveling. She's been doing some serious traveling. So, Carol, would you like to share? I mean, some of you have seen the gorgeous pictures of Carol's recent traveling escapade. Or
Yes, to the Rocky Mountains.
yes, Rocky Mountains. So, tell us, and I'm going to make you big because every good crafter does not travel without stopping for the goods.
I know. Get goodies. Get goodies.
You got to get the goodies. How do I do this? I haven't done it in a
Slide
long.
it over. Just slide me over.
Slide you over. What happened to you? No, I don't want me.
You didn't pick the big one with the two little ones.
Didn't show me that option. That's weird. It's not there. Wait a minute. They've changed this around. That option's not there. Let's see. Oh,
It's
there it
been
is.
I was gonna say it's been a while since I've looked at it.
All right. I want, sorry, folks.
The big one with the two little. Yeah, now slide
Oh,
me
now
over.
I can slide you over. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's been a while. All right.
So my daughter-in-law has a photography business, and she takes and does teaches you your camera, and she does tours and workshops, and she actually took me on a sunrise workshop. And if you saw the pictures I posted, I only posted like 30 photos. I took more than that. I
Bet.
took a lot more than that because we would wait for the stages. And if you notice at those photos, you'll notice that there's a dark blue and then it goes to the light. Well, I was taking those pictures even before the sun was up because
Oh,
we hit the road at 4 a.m. in the morning. And we were off and we were catching the mountains with the stars and the moon. And then we waited at a spot until the sun came up. And as the sun was rising, the colors would change. And you could see that as you look through my photos, you'll see from before the sunrise until the afternoon when we were coming back. We didn't get back home until like 3:30. But she does this tour with, for her business. And as we're going, we're seeing all these mountains, and it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Like, pictures are great, but when you get to see these in person, you cannot believe the feeling that comes across you, the the just seeing how huge they really are. Like, we stood at the base of some of these, and it was like, wow.
you feel really tiny,
So
don't you?
yeah, and you know what? It's because it's basically a big tourism area. There was other people already out there too that bright and early in the morning. So as we were going along, we decided to. Well, that was Loco's vet visit date as well. So we were doing the tour and doing the vet visit. Did a hair visit. So I got my hair done, which was nice. And
Mhm.
then we stopped at this visitor center before we went to the vet. And oh my gosh, oh my gosh, did I get the armload of goodies? Oh my goodness, unbelievable. Maps. Did I have maps before? No. Do I have maps now? Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
I have tons of maps.
All the goodies
So
along the way.
we were all over. This is the Three Sisters here. We've come from, oh my gosh.
Canadian Rockies, yeah.
Yeah, we went all of this, like up Bow River. We went all the way up through Canmore, up to Banff. We went all of those places. And the Three Sisters is what I posted on my Facebook header. That's the mountains. They're called the Three Sisters. And each mountain has little names for them, which
Oh,
was, I was really, really surprised. I didn't know that they all had mountains. So each one of these has specific little things that around the mountain base, because it's so long. It was tremendously like so many things to see in the Banff area. It's so beautiful. The homes up there, holy moly!
yeah, I bet. Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
we actually, as we're going along and we're sightseeing these homes and stuff between Canmore and Banff, it was we're just like putting along, and it's like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. And then one comes up for sale. We had to look. We
Yeah.
had to look.
And
I think all of us combined couldn't afford it. It was $6.1 million.
wow.
I was like, oh yeah, even a high-end job, we couldn't afford that.
Oh my gosh.
$6.1 million.
And I'm
It
assuming it
was,
had a killer view of the mountains, but
oh, it did. It did. It was just fabulous. So
yeah,
we picked up a bunch of these goodies, all of the different stuff that
places.
was there,
That's great. Hiking and
so
dining and things to stay and where to go and
oh yeah, all kinds of stuff, like, you know. And
yeah.
then I got to see where my son lived when he first came out, and where my daughter-in-law was, where she first came out. And believe it or not, before they even met, they were friends with the same friends.
Isn't that funny? Oh
It's
wow.
so it's so cute. So I got all these map portions. That's one thing. Look, I got doubles and triples
Hey, it's free.
because you know what? One just isn't going to do it. Once you cut it up, it's gone.
Right. You don't have to make choices. You can cut up anything you want because you know you get another copy of it.
Yeah. So then they had these tablet style things, and it was just like a tear off, you know. So
Okay.
we tore off a few of these. It's the area of, you know, oh, and we also got to go to BC.
Oh, British Columbia?
Yeah. So we took and we went, and we were going up, and we were so close to British Columbia. We scooted over.
Oh wow.
So I got to get into BC too. Hi, Deb.
That's great. Super.
So we got some more maps. So, this is like all of the different places you can see and go. And this is Canmore, and they have amazing, amazing things to see. And that's the Three Sisters Mountain
Okay.
Village. So that was that mountain. If you look at my Facebook header, that is the Three Sisters, and you'll see why it says Three Sisters, because there's 3 points
Okay. All
on
right.
it.
Okay.
And
That
it's
makes sense.
actually Faith, Hope, and Charity, the Three Sisters.
Oh, okay. She's hoping cherry. Cool.
Then we get into more stuff. So we've got a guide,
Ooh,
and yes, books. So I've got peoples now too.
yeah.
And I've got
Um,
different things that I can cut
oh,
up,
look at all
and
the neat stuff that can be cut out and collaged with.
yeah,
Ooh.
it's like, so I got, 3 of those. They had tons, tons, tons,
Oh,
tons,
look at
tons,
that. That would
tons.
be look at that horse. Oh
So
man.
it was, I was having a field day, and Danny was helping me. She says, here's some more, here's some more, here's some more. They had a big, big rack. So we
Oh,
got that. And then we got all of the little things, of
a little.
things to see, and they have the different houses and the lodges.
Okay. And the nice
This
thing
is
about this is when you're totally bored or can't think or do anything, just get out your scissors and
you start, yeah,
start cutting things out.
and a fossil guided hikes. Like
Wow.
there's so much to see and do. So I thought, you know, why
Yeah.
not?
Why not? Yeah, that's great. Get the
It's
white
amazing the
museum.
different things that you can, and there's springs and stuff where you can get water, and then
Okay, Wellspring Inspiration. Okay.
yeah,
Oh, look at the wolves.
yeah.
Oh,
I would like to see that. I would
yeah.
like to go there. So that might be another trip down the line, is to go
Is that
see the.
Royale or is that what was the name? I think it's a very famous area where wolves are in Canada. Isle Royale, Royale
This is
Isle,
in British Columbia.
British Columbia. Okay.
Yeah. So got a couple of those, and then there's wolf dog tours.
Okay.
So
And Richard
it's
and I went to Yellowstone, and we did see the wild. I mean, the wolves that they introduced to Yellowstone. We got to see them. They were far off in the distance.
and
Oh,
this
look
is
at that.
yeah, this is in Banff.
Okay. Man, you got lots of great pictures.
Yeah, then they do helicopter adventures. And
Oh wow.
Danny also does helicopter adventures. She takes people on a they have to
Oh,
go on a helicopter and then hike into the area
oh,
to get
that's
photos.
yeah. That's from that's
So
pretty.
we got those. Then we went from those and then we pulled some of this.
Oh my gosh.
This is a travel planner. So they say this is for British Columbia.
Holy mackerel! Look at that book.
Oh yeah. Oh look, there's Anne's truck.
There it is. Yes. Yeah.
And they even have campgrounds and hostels where you can, if you're traveling around and you don't have a place to go, they have places where you can stay. And they have bike trails, believe it or not, on the old Trans Canada Highway. They have a bike trail and
Oh
they have
wow.
hostels set up so you can stop with your bike as you're traveling across the Rockies to
Wow.
stay.
Okay. That's awesome.
I've
It's
learned
very
so much. She's a wealth of knowledge. So if anybody wants to do the tour, it's just amazing.
yeah.
I enjoyed it thoroughly. But I was happy to get all of this stuff so we can
Got some good bears
get
there.
some good stuff
I can see the bear should be on the golf course. I think that's where the bear belongs.
up. Let nature take its course.
Aha, aha. Oh, Carol. Whoa.
It
Oh,
fit right in. Come on. It's timing.
perfect.
Everything's
It's
timing.
perfect. Let nature take its course. Yes. Very good.
It is timing. It's like there's all the
Yeah.
different ski resorts.
Yeah. Look at that.
We saw residue from an avalanche.
Ooh.
What you see is what you get. There's so many good sayings in these books.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, look at that. Whole quotes.
Yeah. So it's an amazing site. I thoroughly
Oh, look at the
enjoyed my
black and
day.
white. Oh my gosh, that was cool.
So I got 3 of those.
Good.
Some of these are Danny's too. She says, "I want some."
Yeah.
So then we go to the mountain real estate and say, "Oh yeah, would I love to live in those?" Oh, you bet.
Oh
Those
yeah.
are the 3 sisters.
Okay.
So you can see,
Oh, there. Oh, that's a great picture of them.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
the 3 sisters. That's Faith, Hope, and Charity. So
Interesting. Very
And
cool.
then you get to see how much some of the houses are.
Mhm.
These ones weren't that bad. They were only 900,000.
Oh, it's a steal. It's a bargain.
They
You
were less than 1,000,000.
you can buy one for each one of the family,
Yes. 6.1 million.
yeah. Again, a lot of great stuff to cut
I'm
up.
trying not to get the glare.
No, you're doing a good job. There you go.
6.1, and then an industrial place 5.5.
Oh my gosh.
But
That's
that's
incredible.
that's the house we looked at.
Okay.
So yeah,
Cool.
so that's that. And then we got for the Yukon,
Ah,
we've got more photos and
that's great.
places to see.
Yeah. A lot of good ephemera.
Yeah,
That's a pretty picture.
Gold Rush.
Yeah.
So it's really, really kind of cool.
Ah, there's a great face.
Yep.
Oh, you'll have a lot of fun cutting those up.
Oh, look at that. All of the plates, the signs.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Oh, that's good. That's fun. That is super.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
There's a mountain by the Rundle, uh,
Mm.
and it's looks like a buffalo shape, so they call it the buffalo.
There you go. There you go.
Rundle is where you find the bears, most
Okay.
of the bears. Mount Rundle.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's basically it. Just all
That's a
kinds
good
of
call. And the price was right.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, and that's a great picture. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of beautiful backgrounds to add in. So
Yeah, the playlist,
then
sure.
we picked up some newspapers
Oh,
from when we
good. Yeah.
visited. So the day we visited, or well, yeah, it was Friday, but this is Thursday's paper.
Okay.
So
There
yeah,
you go. There you go.
that was my adventure on Friday.
That's a good adventure to have.
And everybody
Awesome.
fell asleep in chat.
Well, that's okay. Okay. We'll wake them up.
So you can come back now.
No, those are great. I'm so glad I got to see them. Um, it's so fun to grab that stuff when you're traveling. It makes it
Mm,
well. It's a game. You can figure out what can you possibly, how much stuff can you get,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and what you can
And
use.
between last time and this time, I now have a stack about like this.
Right, and you had none really. You were down to zilch.
Yeah, I didn't really have much of anything. What I had was in just a tiny little plastic bin.
Not anymore. Not anymore. No. So, I've been working.
Pam says she's still awake.
Yeah, it's great. Yes. Well,
So we got the boring stuff out of the way.
this wasn't boring. Stop it. It was fun to see. Well, I was working with leather the other day, last
Well, make
week.
yourself bigger so I can go to the background.
Oh, okay. Let me see. This way, and then this way. Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Um, drooling over the pretty pictures, Barbara Clark said. Yes, absolutely. So my friend Mo gave me a leather messenger bag attache type of thing to use at school when I was working. And she just basically said, "Here, you'll use this." And of course I didn't. And it was really heavy. And then I retired. And it's been sitting in my closet probably for the last 5 years. And last Thursday, I do believe, I decided that I was going to cut it up. And I didn't take the scissors to it. I just laboriously rip it, or rip the stitches out. And I've come up with a whole bunch of leather that will be made into various size journals. And then the smaller pieces of leather, I decided I would try to emboss. And so I was going to show you, I mean, they're going to be tiny, but everyone's into tiny. So here's one little one that I made. And I put it through my, Big Shot, and it's embossed. And I did the little thing in the back to close it. And I may do little tiny collages in it. So that's one. You can see the embossing on it. I hope not too bad. Yeah. So that's one I made. And this one, my friend Janet that was visiting gave me some really interesting buttons. They were handmade hippopotamus in a little like hut. And so I decided I would use the hippo as the closure. And there's a little tiny bead. So this kind of goes, well, maybe unravels this way. And then the little journal opens. And there's a little button on the back that holds the cloth. And I didn't emboss the leather on this one. And here's another one that's embossed with gears. And this was one of those 3D embossed, those 3D folders.
Yeah.
And this one is another 3D folder. I haven't done anything with that yet. You can see I've got, here's some dandelions and then here's a bicycle. So I've got.
Oh, I love how they came out.
And then this one, this is the next bigger piece of leather. So I've got dandelions on one side. And then when I went to emboss the other side, because I couldn't figure out how to get it situated, I flattened this side out. So I became very frustrated. So I just embossed this side with butterflies, and that came out fine. That looks great. And this leather is it's so worn. It's been, it's all scratched up, and the different shades. You can see the different shades of the leather. This leather came from the shoulder strap, and this came from the inside flap. And then here's one last piece that I embossed with. It's got like bicycles, and so I will fill these with various papers.
Julie, yes, you usually do have to dampen your leather before you emboss.
And I did on Thursday because they told me, and that's what Deb said, and I spritz these with water. And the ones I did this afternoon, I forgot, and I didn't wet them. And
because if you don't, they can crack.
Well, fortunately, this was, supple enough that it didn't.
Yeah.
But you should, yes. And I did, but I didn't today. And
I used to hand carve leather, so I know hand carve and emboss leather by hand.
Yeah. These came out really cool. And I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I've got much bigger pieces of leather that I'll be able to make 2 like 7 by 7, 8 by 6 size journals, 2 with leather. But this was really hard. I mean, I was sweating. I was telling Carol I was dripping wet when I would put this through. And at that point, my son decides to call me, and I don't have my glasses on, and I am dripping wet. And we always do a FaceTime. He took one look at me, and he said, "Mom, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I've been fighting with the Big Shot." But so I'm excited with these little journals. Not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I'm happy with the way they came out. And I haven't told Mo that I've cut up her messenger bag. I think what I'll do is, I'll make one of the bigger journals, and I've got some really nice, good paper. I've got some really nice parchment paper and different types of paper. And maybe I'll make a journal for her and just give it to her. And I won't tell her
That would be nice.
where it came
Even,
from.
even a medium-sized one, is good.
Yeah, and this is almost passport size, and but it's so soft. It's if I'm forgetting, let's see, wonderful create. Yeah, and it was just sitting in the closet, and so you'll see more of this as I work my way through all my leather. I bought leather needles for my sewing machine because the
Yep.
needle that came with I need leather needles because the needles wouldn't obviously go through the leather. So I'm going to be, I'll put a leather needle in it, and then I'm probably going to do some stitching. Actually, for this is what I'm thinking of doing, because this is I'm not really thrilled with that. There's something else. I thought maybe I would sew a piece of fabric across the top, just like a little piece of like a fabric right across the top. But I need the leather needle. Okay, yeah, I'll make her the journal. Yeah, that would be, yeah. I think I will, because again, I have some really nice different types of paper. I've got parchment paper. I have this handmade paper called, I brought it out, but because when you get things ready to stream, it just miraculously disappears. So I'll have to show it to you another time. I also got a stencil and stamp from P&M Studio.
I have to check my mail
Yeah,
someday.
Carol is the one that started this.
Well, she contacted me.
Yeah, Mariah contacted Carol and asked her about whether she'd be interested in some stencils. And Carol was kind enough to say, hey, what about my friend Anne? So I was contacted by Mariah, and I could choose stencil. So I got, and this stencil was designed, it's called Sea Urchins.
And look at how many pieces.
Yeah,
like, they do not jip on their parts.
No. And this is Yupo, and I found it. The number is, it's 74 pound Yupo. It was on the other packaging. And so this is like a nice big puzzle. And so I've got all of these, and I'm going to do something other than jelly plate with them, because jelly plating and me do not get along. And so I have found several different things to do with this, which I think I'm going to do a standalone video doing some of the things that I found online. And I was able to choose a foamy. So I got a gear like foamy stamp also. So that
so you're telling us to stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you know when it gets uploaded, or you do a live.
Yeah. And I did do some messing around with this. This was Inktense. And Carol said, oh, they look like a bug. So I kind of made a bug. And this is rubbings. I did a lot of frottage. Hi,
Sherry.
And this is
hey, Malia.
Oil pastels rubbed on the stencil, and then Inktense ink over the top. And then underneath here is, you can see the little bit of gray. That's actually just a gray crayon rubbed over the stencil. and then stamped with the stamp. So these are going to make, some great background papers. So I've been kind of messing around with it a little bit. So I will be working on that. So I was so pleased, and they would like to see, people use their stuff, and I got the impression that, not that I couldn't jelly plate with it, but I would rather not because, again,
Well, I think her point of view is let's show alternatives to jelly plating.
I mean,
Alternative use.
yes. And I was watching, Patricia made a beautiful, she took some of the, the pulls and made a beautiful, like box out of it, covered something and made a box out of because, you make all these pulls and then you've got all of this beautiful paper. And then, again, the eternal question, well, what do you do with it then? And she made, a really neat box and covered it all with the stencil stuff. So I'm going to be using this as a lot of this is going to be background pages in my journal. And this is the one journal I actually made. This is one journal that I've been in and out of for a while now, and I added this fabric to it. But this is, let's see. This was this journal. All of these pages, all of this is junk mail. And this has got a heavy Joe Fee influence. If you're familiar with Joe Fee, you will definitely see her on many of these pages. That was from Barbara Clark. Yeah. And I showed this last week, and that was from Becky. That was from me. I did that. But anyway, and so let's see. Here's one of the, maybe not. Okay. So here's one of the, that's from Rosemary. I thought I had made a background using that technique. It's in here somewhere. I won't waste. It's in here somewhere. It's here somewhere. Let's see. No, anyway, I'm going to use as background pages. And this is a traveler style, journal that's got. And this is just old paper, just stitched together, a couple of layers of book pages. And then it was short, so I added. So this is going to be really fat. It's going to be, anyway, so I'm going to be adding some of those things to the background in these pages. And the other thing I wanted to work on today is back to the 100-day collage project that we started a while ago. And I just randomly decided that I started. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Gail.
Thinking of you a lot about I hope you're coming along with your knee.
Yes, hopefully she's healing up really well.
I would think she's probably in the weeds about now, having had both of my knees replaced. I'm thinking at least I got to a point where I thought, oh my God, this is never going to get better. And then of course it does. But, hopefully you're doing better than that. Hopefully you feel that, you're making progress, because it's a bitch. There's no other nice way of putting it. So I decided that I started the 100-day project on January 22nd. I don't know whether I did. I knew it was sometime in January when I started working on it. And if that's close, then I should be at day 87. I'm not at day 87, but I'm going to complete it. I'm just going to finish this no matter what. And Sandra just showed the Somerset Mag 2. Okay, so then I won't. Okay, all right, that's good. It's the same. I mean, they're beautiful magazines. Don't get me wrong, and there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm definitely going to make. There's things in here I'm definitely going to do. So you'll probably see me working on that at some point in time. And this is my last issue, unless I decide to renew it. But I have to laugh. They say, Oh, buy 2 years and you have a big savings. Now, there's no savings if you buy 2 years, because if you take the cost of 1 year and times it by 2, it equals the cost of 2 years. Oh, I'm glad you're coming along. That's good, Gail. You must have a good physical therapist. So the 100-day collage project is created by Froley. I think that's how you pronounce her name, Froley, Froyle. And this is
Froyle?
Froyle.
I don't know.
Froyle. Maybe someone. I thought I heard someone say Freudly, but I could be totally wrong. So there's what she did was they're weekly. And so there's 7 days of doors, 7 days of bridges, 7 days of stairs. And these are the prompts. And I'm working out of a black composition notebook that Carol gifted me a long, long time ago, or it seems like forever ago.
It seems like a long, long time ago.
It seems like forever, right?
Yes, it does.
Equal. Are you going to be? Let's see.
I'm not going to be able to stay much longer. I'm getting a lot of circles on my end.
Okay. All righty. All right. That's Freud. Yes, Julie. That's her name. She's great. Yeah. And big. Talk about a personality. Whoa. Big personality. And so talented. And so
before I actually do lose, because everybody's in, I'm going to say goodbye and let you do your journal pages, and I will catch up with you later.
Okay. All righty. Sounds good.
All right.
Take
Bye,
care.
everybody.
Great seeing. Thanks for sharing your travel stuff.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Be back soon.
All righty. Bye-bye. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Her enthusiasm is contagious. Yep. Isn't it? Yeah. Carol's doing great. If anybody deserves a wonderful day, it's Carol. So this is 100-page. This is perfect. This has 100 pages in it. It's not stitched, so there's a good chance that it's going to fall apart. So I'm going back and forth. But so when I started in the back, I started at number 14. So in the back, I have aerial views. And so some of these are more inspired than others. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of weather in the area too. I mean, if you were here earlier, we had some really good thunder boomies. So this is an aerial. And again, some of these are more inspired than others. I like this aerial with the bee. And then here is an aerial. And it says shark sighted today. And a lot of these pictures come out of travel magazines. This is probably my favorite of the aerials. Actually, this is a pretty funny one too. If you can see the, that's a good one too, with her overlooking. So this next one was texture. So, and now I am up to numbers. And this one was trees and leaves. This is birds and feathers. I'm sorry for the glare. Birds and feathers. And this is trees and leaves. And of course, you want a whale in your forest. So that's where I'm going to pick up. And I'll do my best to read chat while we're going through this. But this is a pretty straightforward challenge. It's 14 prompts, 7 days of each. And so I managed to I went through all my magazines and looked for various images that matched up with the prompts. And I've just started gluing stuff down and trying to do a little collagey thing, you know. I have discovered, and she's been around for a while, but I just became familiar with a collage artist that has just blown my mind. I just love everything that she does. And her name is Rosie, and she is, I think the name of the channel is East of Honey, I think. I should know because I've watched like tons of her videos, but she's got a great sense of humor and does some really, you know, great things, cutting things and slipping things in and really making some fun collages. And East of Honey, I think. Oh, I should. If I think of it, I will put her in the, you know, in the description after we're done here, because she hasn't made anything super recently. She kind of, it seems like, got a little burnt out, and she's not cranking stuff out as much as she has been in the past. But man, she's got a lot of stuff, a lot of videos for you to check out, because she's amazing. And the wonderful thing about her is she describes her process. I mean, you'll go right through the whole, I mean, she speeds stuff up, but you see her, you know, fancy cutting, fussy, I always call it fancy, fussy cutting out with X-Acto blades. And she talks about the process and how she rearranges things and auditions stuff before she puts it down. So you get a real idea of her thought process as she creates these. Hysterical. They are whimsical and funny. She did one, and she just calls it her Dollar Tree haul. And it was hysterical. She went to her local Dollar Tree store, and she bought, I would say, probably less than $20, maybe 20 items from the store, but it was all food packaging. So like box of tea and a box of tacos. And so what she used, hi, Vanessa. Lovely to see you. East of Honey. Yes. Yes, that's it. Okay. Yeah. All righty. But you can easily find her. Yep. Do you want a blue wrench? I'd be happy to give you one, Barbara. Say yay or nay, or you know what? I'm going to give you one. If you don't like it, well, that's too bad. Let's see. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. Maybe I know how to do this. Barbara. Add. There you go. Oh, that's yes. I'll give you standard. Woohoo. Barbara. Now you're a moderator, I think. But anyway, you're right. East of Honey. But she took all of this, the food packaging. Oh my gosh. And the collages that she made were hysterical. Okay, all righty. I know. I'm flying naked. And I'm taking my chances against all of those idiots that post nasty things. And I don't even have subscribers only on. So I'm really taking a chance. See, I like that. That kind of looks cool. That's the kind of stuff that she would do. Just, I'll plop her on there. Okay. It's just fun. Okay, so Barbara's got a wrench. So you better behave, because Barbara doesn't put up with any crap. You know, Barbara seems to be very sweet and mild-mannered. I'm telling you right now, she's not. I mean, she is sweet. She's very sweet, but you don't want to mess with her. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I highly recommend you taking a peek at Rosie. Very personable young lady with an enormous amount of talent. She did a collaboration with another collage artist. They swapped pictures, and so that's fun to watch too. Oh yeah, I mean, she is Yeah, well worth your time. Well worth your time to watch her because she is very cool and highly recommend. Well, they're all. Whoops, toward but the Dollar Tree one with all the food packaging. I don't know what she did with all the food. I mean, I don't know whether she ate it or donated it or what, but she had a lot of food that she bought and then cut. She just bought it for the packaging. No, I'm saying nice things. Come on, Barb. I'm complimenting you. Giving you a compliment. Okay, now I might find something else that I can add up here, but for now, there's the tree. That's what the theme is. The prompts are trees and leaves, and so I've got trees and leaves. Oh, look, there's a little birdie. Could stick that up there too, huh? Now, let's see. When I write bird, what? Well, that is a bird. I don't know. Maybe I might have to put that there. I'll think about that. But here's some more. I have a plethora of magazines. And so I'm very fortunate that I have no problem finding pictures. And I keep on saying I'm not going to renew my prescription, not going to renew my subscriptions. I always want to say prescriptions. Yes, those I have to renew. But subscriptions. But oops, they get me. They say, "Oh, we miss you. We want you back." I've been gone a month. I've told this story many times, but I got that one and they said, "Oh, we miss you so much. We want you back. We're going to make you an offer you can't refuse." And my subscription had only been expired 1 month. I said this before, if you've been in my other streams. I mean, how do you say no to spending $10 for a year's subscription to Architectural Digest? I couldn't say no. And then another one was Traveler magazine. And I think that one came in at $8 for a year. And they threw in a year subscription to Bon Appetit, as Julia Child would say, Bon Appetit. I love Julia Child. That was the first cooking show I ever watched was Julia Child, black and white on PBS. Out of mute yesterday. I was so frustrated with how slow. I don't understand, Julie. Mew is I'm missing something or me? Just took myself out. Mew. Hi, Stephanie G. Hi, Angie. You still alive, girl? I mean, they have been working Angie to the bone. She gets those thumbs up at Keisha's page, and I tried to buy one of Angie's bowls, and I couldn't. I couldn't get in. Could not break the lag. Couldn't get in, even though I had refreshed. Before I got ready to put my oh, it's another app like Facebook. Oh, okay, all right. So I refreshed before I put my choice in, and then I was not anywhere. And then I went and looked and refreshed again, and it showed that I was number 1 on the list. And I know that's not how it works, but anyway. But I know Angie will making more bowls, but she had some really pretty ones. She had heart-shaped ones, and I've been looking at those for quite a while. I've been watching her make the bowls for quite a while, and I've never bought one. And I decided that I would. I had made up my mind that if any bowls of Angie's came up, I would try to get one. So I will have to wait for the next time around. Facebook, I'm not bothering with the other one. Okay. I haven't heard of you. I mean, there's so many, there's so many. This is for numbers. I have numbers here. That's numbers. That's another prompt. So I started collecting numbers and more numbers. Oh my gosh, I should switch to numbers. All right, let me stick this here. Oh, what's this? Is this numbers? Well, it's clocks. That's something else. All right. Also letting telegraph go. Wow, Julie, I haven't heard of any of these. I got here's some leaves here. We can stick those there. We need something. When you hear that sound, that means that's a weather thingy. Earlier, it said that there was a lightning strike 0 miles, which means kind of like right on top of your house. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh. This could go here. Maybe. Yeah. She could be in the weeds or in the leaves. That's a good one. I got a whole bunch of these black and white ones too out of the Greek Romans. I don't know. This is some giant, and the giant's holding like a little human being, which is kind of weird. I'm so sorry for the glare. I can try. Let's see. Then I'm in the dark, but you can see, right? I keep on looking at buying another camera, buying other lights, because I know how frustrated I get when I'm watching someone's stream. And I do the same thing. Let's see. Ooh. How about that guy's kind of creepy. Ooh, I like that. Let's stick that in there because you can't see. Let's do this over here like so. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of hard. Okay, let's stick that there. Isn't that guy creepy? He's got one of those radio things. Have you seen those? They're advertising them on, I don't think it's Temu, but it's something like that. Speaking of Temu, Pam, I watched your Temu haul the other night. So how's that toothpaste dispenser holding up? Pam bought a whole bunch of interesting, very eclectic group of things from Temu. See, Telegraph is like Messenger, but you can do more things like have your news feeds and things. Oh, okay. All righty. Yeah, that's not cool. I don't know. The thing that I've noticed is on Instagram, you get all these men that want to follow you, and they all are either in military uniforms or doctor scrubs. Like, that's going to make them, you're going to be more rest assured that they kind of look like military or want to be doctors. Oh, okay. Okay. I just barely put it in the bathroom. We will see. Okay. Yeah. That'll be interesting to see how it holds up to your gang. I've only bought, you can't see what I'm doing. I wish there was like a little thing that could kind of give me an electrical zap, telling me that I'm out of frame. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. I'm not surprised. Oh, my Lord. Let's get rid of this. Oh, you would think I'd never done this before in my life. I just ignore them. You know, I have found that when people say something or rant and rave at me, I just don't respond because I've got nothing to say. So the best thing, as I was told, you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I find myself not saying anything. And sometimes that just is the best recourse. Just don't say a word. I had a friend, a former colleague of mine, sent me a really weird kind of almost like a demand on Facebook, which really put me off. And I just was so I didn't respond to her. I had been invited to go out to lunch by another person that I had taught with. And someone took a picture, right, and posted it on Facebook. I like this guy because he's really creepy. He's hiding in the flowers. And this person sent me a message and said, well, the next time there's an HT gathering, I want to be included. And I was thinking to myself, well, first of all, I was invited, so I'm not in a position to say, oh, why don't you invite so and so? It was weird that she kind of demanded that she should be included. And she didn't even really know this person that was having that's not right. But it was just odd. And then she added a second line to the message. Oh gosh. And it was kind of like an afterthought. Oh, I hope you're well. We're doing well too. I said, okay, but I didn't respond to it. Sometimes it's just not worth it. You can't. So don't say anything. Just, it's so much easier sometimes just to keep your mouth shut. And sometimes it's hard. All right, so that one's kind of, you can kind of see it. Yeah, I like that guy. This guy is really creepy, isn't he? Ooh, I got some tears there. Now, I have no problem with this blank spot here. I really don't. So I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, a barber clock. Yeah, you were talking. Yeah, I don't know where Carol got this, but she gifted it to me, and it's really kind of neat. And dot grid, the black page journal. Yeah. RWS squared media.wordpress.com. It's not that old, 2017, and it has I bet you could probably find it on Amazon because it's got an ISBN number. So it's held up remarkably well. Now, I haven't used any wet glue. I've only used glue sticks on it. And yes, that would be wonderful. Thumbs up would be wonderful. And kind of looking for Janet coming in. No, another Janet. And because they keep on taking my subscribers away. So I don't know. They just do that. And I don't know why. And there's nothing I can do about it. And I can't worry about it, right? There's certain things I have no control over. And YouTube is definitely one of them. So I could use this because there's the leaves. Yeah. And I don't know. Let me see if I got any more. Ooh. So I got all these dudes too I cut out. Oh, sexy, 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 sexy. Maybe we can have him holding the bird. Maybe, 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 maybe. Bird on a stick. Or bird on a stick here. Yeah. Bird on my shoulder. Maybe I can do that. Let's do that. This issue of Somerset magazine they've got some really nice making boxes. I love making boxes. I love making boxes and, flippy flappy journals and things like that. I really want to do a quote journal, kind of like try to do pages like an art journal page where you have like a quote and then you kind of do something that kind of follows the quote or and I want to do Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, I remember that you were not really thrilled with the initial unboxing of the toothpaste dispenser. And I kind of looked at it and wondered how that was going to hold up to a bunch of people trying to dispense toothpaste out of. I thought maybe that would be a challenge for the dispenser. Well, let's see. Maybe here? Maybe not. Let's see. I'm not sure. Not sure. Not sure. Let me go look. I seem to have gotten my pile of. I had everything. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's floral. Let's see what I got here. That's a tree. Yeah, there's a tree. Oh, look at that. Can you imagine having that in your house? That's not floral, and it's not a tree. But it's really interesting. Oh, look at this tree. Isn't this gorgeous? Yeah, I got to use that. Have to use that. Yep. Got to use that. That's too little. Ooh, look at that tree. Look at that house. I need something big, like something like, bird coming down, devouring the house or something. Okay, I like that. Okay. There's a nice swimming pool. See, I like this. I like her, and there's the tree. So I might use her. As a matter of fact, I think I will. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Perfect, right? Look at that leaf right there. Aren't those cool? Ooh, kale. There's a leaf. Leave. Oh, all righty. Here we go. I have an idea. I have a plan. So let's kind of cut her out as I try to stay in frame. Yeah. I like her hairdo. Wow. Do you remember I remember when girls had hairdos like that. I never had a hairdo like that, but I remember in the is that 60s? I'm thinking maybe. And then in the 80s, there was just the big hair, the big hair. It wasn't piled on top of your head. It was just big hair, as I recall. The 80s are a blur for me because that's when I had, you know, 2 little ones at home. So you don't really have much awareness of what's going on in the outside world. B52, not me. Let's see. B52? I'm not sure. Ooh. How about these two together? Ooh. I like that. Yeah, Gail's a real trooper. Oh. Now, what, you had your knee replaced from what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? Still pretty. Oh, is that what they called them? B52? I didn't know that. Oh, because of the, like, a beehive? They were known as B52? Oh. Okay. She may be somebody very famous. I mean, this is a current magazine. I just don't know who she would be because she's got to go here. And I think that he might, not quite 2 weeks. Oh, wow. Are you in that bendy thing, Gail? Because when I had my knee replacements, one of them, they came to the house and they put a bendy thing that you put your knee in and it automatically bent it. And you had to do it for so many hours a day or whatever. And that was like this torture thing where they bent your knee. I don't know. And then my second knee replacement, the guy, yes, as we speak. Okay. And the guy also had like it was a thing that you could wrap around your knee and it had tubing and it came and it ran on a little motor and it sat in like looked like a little 6-pack cooler and you could put ice in it or frozen water bottles and it would circulate ice cold water around the incision. So while you were in the bendy thing, it was circulating cold water around the incision. And that was another. I'm gonna have to cut her feet off, but it won't hurt. Yeah. So they're still using the bendy thing. Yeah, the guy that came. Oh, you have the ice machine too? Oh, wow. That's amazing. Okay. Interesting. Because I had my needs done. I'm talking a long time ago. So I'm glad they're still using that. The guy that brought the bendy thing to my house had been the world geography teacher where I had worked. And he got out of teaching because poor Jim, he thought he'd go into teaching and make a difference. And he found out that he wasn't making a difference, at least not to the extent that he thought he was going to make a difference. So his wife worked in pharmaceuticals and set him up with the bendy machine. And because she knew all the docks in the area, so he had an insight to all of the docks. So he started doing the bendy thing. And so he came to my house and set up the bendy thing. I'm sure there's a technical word for it. All I can say is thank God for insurance. And whoever invented that little 6-pack, it was a cooler that would hold a 6-pack of beer, but it had this little motor in it and with tubing. And some guy came up with that. And I had bottles of frozen water in there because ice, if it started to melt, it would be messy. But the bottles, I would just rotate them back into the freezer. And I think my insurance company was charged $600 for that little 6-pack ice machine, as I recall. It seemed. I think this leaf really belongs with her. Somehow, she needs to be wearing this leaf. I don't think this is kale. This looks like Swiss chard. Oh, CPM. Yes, yes. Okay, I bet you Gail knows what the CPM stands for. I bet you Gail knows that. Passive movement, something passive movement? Oh, or rhubarb. Oh, Teresa. Yeah, now looking at it. Yeah, it could be rhubarb. You know that rhubarb plants last for decades and decades and decades. I had a rhubarb plant in my backyard in a house that was built like in 1930s, and the people planted rhubarb back like in the 30s, and it was still producing rhubarb. And I would bring it over to the lady that owned the restaurant that I was chefing in, and she would make fresh rhubarb and strawberry pie. You're using frozen water bottles too? Okay. Now, the other thing that a trick that was shared with me is when it was time for me to take a shower. Oh, continuous. Okay, that makes sense. I would wrap my knee in press and seal. And press and seal really is great stuff. It'll give you a waterproof seal. And my orthopedic surgeon's nurse told me about press and seal. I would wrap that knee all up in press and seal, and I could take a shower, and it would be bone dry. And I got myself unstuck with press and seal. It's another. See? Look at that. We're sharing all of the tricks of the trade. So if you ever have to have a knee replacement, press and seal. I think that kind of looks interesting. Maybe. How about like that? I like that. I think that's interesting. It looks like chard. Okay. Swiss chard. I don't think I've ever had Swiss chard. You need a whole. Yeah, I know. Well, now Angie's having trouble with her hand. And have you seen the second doctor yet, Angie? Oh, okay. I'm assuming you had staples. Did you have staples? I've had several different types of closures. I had staples, and I had a doctor that used a continuous piece of stainless steel wire that he wove in the whole incision. He just took the stainless steel wire and went right and kind of wove it through the incision like that. And it was just one long piece because it stuck out on either end of the incision. And when he went to remove it, he literally took a pair of needle nose pliers, grabbed hold of one end of the stainless steel wire, and just started twisting to pull out the wire. Unfortunately, the wire broke 3/4 of the way through him pulling it out, which was not fun. They're staples, yeah. Yeah, that was an ouchie. Yeah. That was an ouchie. And we were at see, she's pretty attractive too. I had that surgery done at a hospital that was 3 hours away from where I lived. It was a very good hospital, Strong Memorial Hospital, University of Rochester, the best of the best. And we went there, and it was like a clinic, to get the stitches out. And it's in February, mind you. And all of a sudden, this huge waiting room just filled with people. All right, Gail, take care. Good luck. I'm sure I'll see you out on the webs. Thinking of you. And all of a sudden, they came into the waiting room and they said, I don't get that. So, Anne, was that your reader stand that was posted, or did you need a larger one? I'm not sure I get where you're going with. And they announced that we have to evacuate the 8-book holder. The 8-book holder. I'm not sure. Let's take the 8-book. And they said we have to evacuate the building. And you'll have to reschedule your appointments. Well, my then husband at the time being got up and went to whoever told us and they said, no. That old structure that rotated. I'm totally lost. It's a stand that holds 8 books at a time to read. Is that a picture that's here somewhere that I'm not seeing? I'm totally confused. Okay. I don't know that I do love to read, but I don't think I could read 8 books at the same time. Yes, it's on. Okay. It's on Facebook. Okay. Who would want to read 8 books at a time? Anyway, he went up and said, no. These stitches have to come out today because we live 3 hours away. And so they found a room for me somewhere, and that's when the wire broke, when he was yanking, he was pulling it out. Oh dear, I didn't pull her over. Okay, yes, it's on Facebook. Okay. I thought it was in your group. Maybe. I'm horrible. I don't check that. I'm not real good at checking those things. I'll have to check it out though. Maybe, and I had left my bag in the other room or whatever, and some very I have to say, some very, very handsome fireman went and retrieved my bag, which was very nice of him. So that's my tale of woe. Well, it turned out that they were doing construction, and it was an electrical fire. So I'm going to move her over here, which is better. Mo better, because she really shouldn't be. I am really making a bloody mess of this, but it's okay. How come that fit before? It's not fitting now. Did I not make a slit big enough? All right, there we go. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was dramatic. Yeah, that knee was very problematic. I ended up subsequently having, I don't know how many surgeries on that knee. Now that knee is, the kneecap is shattered. So I've got just pieces of a kneecap. But I'm walking. That's all that matters. I can walk. All right. Wow, that was not easy. But I think we'll leave her for now. We've got a tree and we have a leaf. And Angie said she's going to see the surgeon Tuesday. Didn't I see that's what she said? You think? Bye, Gail. I thought that's maybe what she said. I missed it. It's hard to read chat and craft at the same time. No, going Tuesday to a surgeon. Okay, to a surgeon. Okay. I'm assuming you're seeing a hand specialist, right? Because you want to see a hand specialist. How have you been able to make all those bowls, or did you make all those bowls before the problem with your hand appeared? Okay, tried finding it, but need more information. I can give you the IBSN number. Do you want that, Barb? Okay, you're going to write it down. I'll give it to you. Or do you want me to hold it up for you? Can you see it? Maybe you can take a picture of it with your phone or something. Okay. And then I'll hold this up for you. Maybe you can take a picture of that. Now, this is 2017, so that's 6 years ago. So who knows where they are 6 years from, Okay. Hopefully that helps. I can't believe that someone's not making something like this, if not that company. Both still working on them with my hand, but resting. Yeah. It's a cyst, I think, as I recall. I think that's what you said, Angie, one-on-one. I think you mentioned it was some sort of cyst. Yeah. Well, hopefully they can remove it and you'll be on your merry way. I really wish you the best. It's scary. Any surgery's scary. There's always, oh, look at that. Aren't those leaves pretty? Pretty. So I think, oh, I've got so many. I could do a second journal. But I like the eyeglasses here at the bottom too. Those are cute. All right. How to be less busy. I know how to be less busy. Retire. Not everybody can do that though. I have to say that I am loving. Okay, Angie, take care. Thanks for stopping by. I so appreciate it. I am so thrilled. And people, always say, well, what are you going to do now that you're retired? And I think that's such a stupid question to ask personally. Because who knows what you're going to do when you're retired? I said, I don't know. I had just discovered crafting. I think I had just discovered Dee and caged fish. Nah, I lost that leaf. I remember the first time I saw caged fish do a collage. I never looked at a magazine the same since. Never have I looked at a magazine the same way after watching caged fish. And I'm telling you, do not waste any time. I mean, I would rather you not go while I'm streaming, but you got to check out Rosie East of Honey, because she's got an incredible point of view and sense of humor and just a blast. And you're going to probably see a lot of her influence in my upcoming ventures. I just made another journal out of junk mail. I get a lot of junk mail. And I guess that says I get a lot of travel cruise catalogs that are like books. I don't know how they can afford to send those. I've never booked a cruise ever on any of these cruise lines, and these books that they're catalogs and they're about half an inch thick, and they're for cruises for 2024 with the most luscious pictures. The cover pictures are just unbelievable. They had one cruise that was 51 days long. Okay, you found something else? Yeah, I would imagine there may not be, this company may no longer be in business, but there's got to be composition notebooks that are made up of black pages, I would imagine, something close. This has got little white dots. I don't know whether you can even see the dots, but that's why it's called a dot. And again, Carol, this is coming from Carol, so it's came from Canada, I'm assuming. It's Canadian. So I think this is going to go over here with the desert cacti. I think that's going to be interesting. Well, it seems like the storms have passed. And, oh, it's still raining a little bit. I still have to put my garbage out. But it's Lily's out in the garage. I don't want to forget her. When she runs out into the garage, I have to put a timer on, otherwise I'll forget that she's out there. I give Lily tuna fish only because she has arthritis medicine to take, just like me. And it's in a capsule and it's powdered. So I have to sprinkle it on some wet food. So the wet food is canned tuna. Yep, this is going to go there, and I'm going to cut them out, and they're going to be right in the middle of this. So I'll cut that down. Or maybe not, but I'm going to cut it out. So I get her Star-Kissed tuna fish packed in water, right? From Amazon. And it actually it's cheaper than canned cat food. It works out to be 20 cents an ounce. And I got a case of 24 the other day, but unfortunately, someone didn't read carefully enough, even though in gigantic red label right across the packaging says in vegetable oil. And of course, I always order packed in water. I don't know how you could have missed that. So I contacted Amazon, and if you know Amazon, if certain orders are under a certain amount, they just basically say keep it, don't bother returning it. So that's what they said to me: keep it, don't bother returning it. So I had 24 cans of tuna fish packed in vegetable oil for free. And I figured, well, she'll eat that. Well, if you have cats, you know how persnickety they can be. She is not really thrilled about the tuna packed in vegetable oil. I've gone as far as rinsing it in water, trying to get oil off of it. And I could buy the tuna packed in water, but it's now a battle of who's going to win. And I wouldn't really care, but I really need her to take the arthritis medicine. So, I never thought about that. That would be helpful. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make that come out the other end, slide right out the other end. Huh. I do give her kibble. Her dry food is the Iams for indoor cats and supposedly keeps the hairballs down. She throws up. If you know anything about cats just throw up. That's just what they do. Every couple of days, it'll be a puke fest. And it's always hair, even though she eats this anti-hairball food. But she cleans herself all the time. She's constantly cleaning herself. And I'm not complaining about that. But I just feel so bad with the arthritis. And when the vet determined, diagnosed that she had arthritis, and I'm sure I've shared this information with you in the past, he suggested that one of his remedies was, literally, I think he actually said to me, he said, well, you could carpet your house. I said, excuse me? Yeah, he said, you could carpet your house or you could prevent her from jumping. I'm thinking, these are great practical solutions. I live in Florida, and my house there's no carpeting in my house. It's all tile or wood floors. The only carpeting in my house are in the closets. I don't understand that, but like I'm gonna carpet my entire house, nah, that's not gonna happen. But sometimes, vets will prescribe medicine that you end up wearing and your pet ends up not getting. Yeah. That was one of the more, well, when I first took her to the vet kept on looking at her wrong paw. I should have, obviously, this should have been a clue, right? Change vets. She kept on looking at the wrong paw, and the tech kept on saying to her, the other paw, whispering like I couldn't hear her, the other paw. Oh, the other paw. I don't know. I think a lot of us in here have pets, cats and dogs, and, we do everything we can. Well, it wouldn't stop her. No, it wouldn't stop her from jumping. But when she jumped, the landing would be soft. It wouldn't be on tile floor. I guess that was the point of that. I've had cats, and it didn't matter where. Yeah, cats are going to do what they're going to do, and I've had lots of kitties in my lifetime. And Lily's fairly young. She's only 8. And she's an indoor cat. I don't think I want that. She's never really been outside. I got the bright idea that wouldn't it be fun to get a harness and take her for a walk? And that was an interesting adventure. I wish I had done that when she was a kitten, because you can walk cats. So I got a harness, and she would let me put the harness on. And then I'd go to walk her, and then she would just flop over. So I'd end up like dragging her across the tiles, which I didn't really do. And I would get her all harnessed up, open the door, and then she would just stop. She basically would look at me and basically say, well, I'm not going outside. And once my goal was to be able to walk to the mailbox with her on the harness. We never got that far. But I'm sure, if you start when they're young, they will take to the heart, and you can walk them. Every once in a while, you see really cute videos of cats, on harnesses. I think, it would be neat to just have a cat in your car, like you would drive around with a dog in your car. Wouldn't it be cool to have a cat just hanging out in the car? I've seen pictures of that. Well, what do you think? We're getting there, folks. How are we doing? I'm sure you guys are all kind of tired of me rambling on and fussy cutting. Yeah. Oh, okay. All righty. Yeah, I kind of took her out on the patio, and I thought maybe she could just walk around the patio area. And she would just lie down, just lie down. And of course, I've got a lizard problem here in Florida. I have a lizard problem. But the lizards, as soon as I walked outside with Lily on the leash, the lizards kind of vacated, because they pretty much own the patio. So I don't go out there much. And Lily loves the lizards. occasionally when they get in the house, we have what we call the Lily Lizard Watch. And she will watch where that lizard went, whatever piece of furniture that lizard was under. She will sit there, lie there for hours on end, waiting for the lizard to come back out again. There's been times when she's caught the lizard and I've literally picked her up, lizard and all in her mouth, and carried her outside and kind of like shook her until she dropped the lizard, and then go back in the house and not drop her. And the lizard ran off to live another day. Or, I don't know, maybe not. But we've got lizards. I mean, they're just every size. There were 2 lizards hanging out in my front porch, and they were hanging about by the door. The screen door to the porch is a dark brown, and the lizards were, they change color, and so these lizards were really dark brown. They blend in with the color of the screen door. I shooed them out the other day when I was sweeping the front porch. I kicked them out. So you think this is going to look? I like this. I mean, I'm going to cut it all out, but I think I'm going to keep this like right here, maybe off to the side a little. And I just like the the size, the different colors. Fancy cut the glasses out a little bit more, and I think that'll be a neat page. And I just got a little bit more to cut, so that's going to go there. So we got, yeah, this won't be hard. I can do that right now. I'll just go like so. Again, this challenge was kind of fun, even though I couldn't find the prompts. For the life of me, I couldn't find the prompts. I think Janet found the prompts for me. Several other people found the prompts for me, but I never found the prompts. But it's kind of nice because you've got 14 prompts in all. And Carol's doing this also, but she's only doing 4 of each because she's using one of the little composition, the half composition books, and they only have 80 pages. So she's kind of doing this too. Now, she hasn't worked on it in a while, but I'm assuming she will. And things continue to settle down. Again, if you haven't seen her pictures on Facebook, you've got to see those pictures of those mountains. They are just gorgeous. You let her walk around the house? Yeah, that's true too. Yep, I've let her walk around, and she kind of like, when cats kind of walk and they hunker down, and she's walking so low that her belly's almost touching the ground. She's not a happy camper. I don't, it would be cool. Okay. Let me just do this real quick, and then I will say au revoir or auf Wiedersehen or adios or hasta la vista. And wish you guys all a good week. It's my firstborn's birthday today. I wished him a happy birthday. I left him a message. I don't know where he is. He's out traveling. I'm going to take an X-Acto blade and cut out the rest of these or come up that way. So we got this one done. I like this one, just simple. And I really like this creepy dude here among the plants. And we got her over here. I might still put something here, not sure. So that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, these take a lot of time. Happy, yeah, his name's Dave. Dave. And he is, well, he was born in 1976. He was a bicentennial baby. So 6 from 30. He's 47. I can't believe he's 47. Good man. All righty, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Barb, for taking on a wrench, and Janet for being here. And again, have a good week. And as my mom used to say, if you can't be good, be careful. Bye.